All right, looks like I'm live. Hey guys, how's it going? Happy Sunday. Sunday? It's supposed to be Friday. Well, I thought I'd stop on here and just have a little impromptu live stream, hang out with you guys, and I don't know, we can talk about whatever you want, really. I mean, there's a lot of things going on, that's for sure. But I get so many questions every day, people that send me emails, Facebook messages, comments on the videos that I thought, well, I'll kind of give you guys the floor, and if you have some questions, you can go ahead and ask them here and see if we can get some of them answered tonight. And when these streams are over, I leave them up. That's because a lot of people look forward to the streams, but they might be busy that night. And some people just always look forward to it the next day. So any of you who come in now, yeah, it's not a short, concise video. This is me hanging out with my friends. Because look, here's how it really is. I wish I could have I don't know if I could have a couple hundred of you because it's not big enough, but I'd like to have a couple dozen of you at least just over here hanging out at the shop, and we wouldn't need the camera on. We would just sit and talk about the same stuff that we talk about now. So that's what these streams are, is hanging out with friends and talking about things and just hanging out. So I figured I'd just say that ahead of time because it never fails that someone comes in here, man, you could have said what you had to say in 15 minutes. Why was it 2 hours? And it's like, just because you get it doesn't mean that none of us get it. So this is why I do these streams, just to hang out. It's a live show. Many of you, in fact, look forward to hanging out with each other in the chat and probably have better conversations with each other than I do. And that's why I like to do these live streams and premieres and things like that, just so we can all get together and, I don't know, hang out, complain to each other, chill, whatever you want to call it. So let's see who's in here tonight. Hold on a second. Oh, there's quite a few of you, actually. I thought there was going to be nobody because it's a Sunday night, but it is Labor Day. A lot of you have work off tomorrow. And I know I worked hard this year. How about you guys? Well, Gretchen wouldn't let me work for the first couple months of the season, but I made up for it. I've been working ever since and trying to deal with this messed up situation most of us and a lot of us have been in this year. That in many cases, and I know in Michigan, the cure has been probably a lot worse than the disease, and the governor's affected a lot of people's lives adversely that didn't get sick. And unfortunately, people did get sick. So don't ever mince my words, guys. People got sick. That's true, and that's unfortunate. But, man, to take it out on everybody that's not sick and to just basically the way I look at it in Michigan anyways, it seems like let's just ruin everyone's life no matter what because we just have to have parity. So let me get this straight. This says everything's going pretty good, guys. Let's just call this status quo. And there's people getting sick and some things that are bad. So instead of trying to keep everybody going strong to lift those people up, instead it seems that the governor of Michigan and maybe some of your governors has tried to drag everybody down to that level and then drag us even down below that, where you're just in a state of despair and people cling and they look to the newscast and they say, oh, the governor, when is she going to lift the restrictions? The governor's the only one that can save us. I say that's BS. And if anybody, even if you have a good governor, if you truly believe that your governor, or as far as that goes, even President Trump, or anybody like that's truly going to save you, then you should probably work on, being a little more self-sufficient. Both physically, yeah, getting your ammo in store. Somebody mentioned food in the chat, getting your food in the chat. But mentally, you need to have yourself standing on your own 2 feet. Because this is an election year. Don't forget that. And while there are things that happen this year that are real, I'm not going to say they're not real. They are. But this is the most politicized sickness I've ever heard of. And do you guys think it's a coincidence that this just happens to be election year and everybody's going to come in and save you? And if you don't vote for them, you're going to die. But if you do vote for them, you're going to be prosperous. Well, guess what? Both sides say that. So in the end, half the people truly believe they're voting for their saving grace, and the other half are going to die. The other half believe the opposite. So in the end, what's going to happen? Is everyone going to be all right? Or is everybody going to die if this certain dear chosen leader, regardless of what party you're in, really, this applies, unless they get elected? I don't know. I've watched a lot of people, young and old, male, female, black, white, all different colors. I've watched people live great lives, and I've watched a lot of people die. People I've known. We've all known people that have died, and it always sucks. But I've never seen the government come in and basically try to say, well, we're going to take away this. We're going to take away that. And if you do certain things, and you listen to our strict instructions, we'll give it back to you. Here's the problem with that. In my opinion, you guys surely have your own, but how can they give us back something or even take something they never gave us to begin with? This whole, we'll give you your freedom back. You'll be allowed to assemble again. You'll be allowed to get your hair cut again. You can go swimming. You can go to the gym to stay physically fit. Because if you follow our rules, we'll give that back to you. How do they give it back when they never had it to give you to begin with? Because I truly believe in our founding documents. And if you don't like America and you don't want to be here, then you don't believe in this. But I do. And I do love my country. And I really do love the founding documents. In the Declaration of Independence, it says our rights are endowed by our Creator. And among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Now, it certainly doesn't just mean those three things. It means those are the core. And there's basically infinite other things, too, that were given to us by our Creator. Now, if you're a Christian, that'd be the Christian God. If you're another religion, which is totally fine with me because that's part of what America is, true religious liberty, whatever you believe created, you gave those to you. So unless you believe, if you're living in Michigan, that Governor Whitmer created you, now she created a lot of problems for me, but she didn't create me. She didn't give me anything. So how can she take it? How can she give it back? And quite frankly, I'll be honest with you guys, I go about my daily life and I do what I want to do. And I encourage you guys to do what you want to do. They said she extended the state of emergency in Michigan until October 1st, which is basically a moot point for me because I wasn't acknowledging any of the crap anyways before that. So I'm just going to keep living like I was on September 1st, August 1st, July 1st of this year, and in 2019, 18, and keep going back. Because to me, so much has changed around me, but I'm not going to give into this new way, the new normal, the new world order, many people call it. I'm not going to just sit there and say, well, I don't like it, but I'll just give into it because of whatever. No, if you give into it, you're complacent with it. That's my personal beliefs. Again, you guys do what you want to do. But yeah, I worked hard this year and I continued to work hard and still am working hard underneath our governor's orders while I'm watching all the turmoil in Washington where, again, these people say, well, you can get your rights back if you vote for me. This reminds me of another thing in the gun world. And I'm going to say hi to all of you in just a second, okay? There's always been this concept, and it's gun control is what it is. It's taking, which is both illegal under the Second Amendment. It's illegal under the takings clause. But they call this a gun buyback. Now, they're never going to, be honest because these are politicians. But I wish they'd just finally come forth and say what it is and say, we want to confiscate your guns. We want to take your guns because that's what buyback is. Because buyback in and of itself is a hypocrisy. It's not possible for them to buy it back. So, for example, Vice President, I should say Biden, presidential candidate Biden, whatever you want to call him, candidate Biden, okay? I don't really care if I use their proper terminologies. Candidate Biden and Vice President candidate Kamala Harris. They say if you elect them, they're going to buy your guns back. Have you guys actually thought about that? And maybe you guys have that watch this channel, but have you made your friends aware of this concept? How are they going to buy it back? Because here's how this works. If my friend comes over and he's like, man, I want to buy your truck off you. And I sell him the truck. This is a true story. It happened probably 8 years ago. He bought the truck. He came on hard times and he said, man, I'm going to have to get rid of the truck. But I know you gave me a good deal on it. And I know you didn't necessarily want to sell it, but you sold it to me to help me, okay? And this was a true story. And he said, do you want to buy it back? I'll sell it back to you for what I gave you for it. First right of refusal, He didn't have to, but before he put it on the side of the road, he needed money. So I bought the truck back. Now, that's a true buyback. I owned the truck. I sold it to him. He said, do you want to buy it back? And I did. How can Harris and Biden do a buyback? Did you buy your guns from Kamala? Did you buy them from Shotgun Joe? I don't know. Maybe you bought your double-barrel shotgun from him. I don't know. But let me say this. I'm sure 99.99% of you didn't buy any guns from those people. Someone's going to come in and say, well, hold on a minute. I'm Joe Biden's neighbor, and I did personally buy a shotgun for him. So in that case, that one gun, yeah, he could buy that back from you. But only in his personal capacity, not as, presidential candidate. So, yeah, they want to buy the guns back that they never sold you. Completely impossible, completely preposterous. It's just politically correct code for we want your guns. We want to confiscate them. And I'm not trying to get you guys paranoid. Trust me, it's not like that. I'm not even saying they're going to, quote unquote, get by with it until they do. and unless we stop them. But I just want to make it clear that's what they're truly proposing when they say buyback. No, that's confiscation of your property. Who cares if they're going to give you a little money for it? Who cares if they're even going to give you a lot of money for it? We can sell our guns right now. And if you haven't noticed, go on GunBroker. You can sell your guns for quite a bit if you want to sell them. You can sell them to people. We can't facilitate here on YouTube, obviously, and this channel doesn't sell anything. But yeah, you can meet up with each other in real life, and you can sell them to your gun shop, local gun shop in town, and all these types of things. Take them to the pawn shop. We can sell. But the principle is this: they can't buy back something that they never gave us. And let's go back to our rights again. How can they give us rights back? How can they give us rights back and give us our country back when they never gave it to us? It never, ever once, look in the founding documents, it never once, when this country was founded, did they say that the president of the United States will give you your rights, or a general will give you your rights. Yeah, General Washington was a very brave man. He went across the Delaware. He did many things that 99% of us probably wouldn't have the physical or mental capacity to do. And these people should be looked upon as heroes, and we should keep their statues up. By the way, yes, we should keep the statues up. We should keep the statues up because a lot of these people are heroes. Should we admire them? Heck yeah. Should we celebrate their birthdays as national holidays? Sure. I think that's fine too. Should there be a monument and a statue that you can go by and look at and tell your little boys and girls that was General George Washington? And he believed in these founding documents that were founded upon a government of the people and by the people, of self-governance, where this government would be controlled by the people, right? Up until the point that the government was contrary to their essential liberties, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, and then it would be our duty to abolish it. But to erase people that were there 240 years ago, 140 years ago, even 50 years ago, that's dishonest. It's wrong. It's really wrong. And it reminds me, a ministry of truth. If you read books like 1984, George Orwell talked about this stuff a long time ago. And for you younger guys, and I don't mean this a put down, I love young people, but I'm being dead honest. If they're not teaching this stuff in school anymore, and you don't know what it means when somebody says that was a very Orwellian thought, Orwellian, that's referring to a man named George Orwell that wrote books such as 1984, Animal Farm, and others. And they talk about a time where the government's responsible for getting rid of information. There's a whole ministry, which communist, Bolshevik, Marxist countries tend to have ministries of, fill in the blanks. And they were there to rewrite a new truth and to get people to forget what happened in the past so they would accept a new truth. And that they could actually convince somebody of how many fingers they were holding up. And when they were holding up 3 fingers with enough torture, and he finally just gave up the will to argue to get them to go from saying when he's holding up 3 to get them to say there's 4, even though he's holding up 3. And that's what it reminds me of when they say something like a gun buyback. Now, how come there's not 300 and something million people, whether they like guns or hate guns? How come they're not getting up and saying, wait a minute, buy back? I didn't buy anything from you. Even the non-gun owners should be appalled by this concept. Because here's the thing. Some people may not hold the Second Amendment dear. And here's the great thing about this country. These rights belong to you whether you want them or not. Whether you want to exercise them or not. Even if you're trying to take those rights down, they still apply to you. And sometimes we kind of want to put an asterisk there. I get it. And I'll give you guys an example of that. If I see somebody burn a flag for a split second, and hear me out, don't take one word out of this. For a split second, I say, I'd like to take that right away from them. How dare them burn that flag? Considering how I have family members that died overseas for that flag. And how I have people that just came back from overseas and are still alive, and other ones that just died of old age. But a lot of people gave up a lot for that flag. And even people that weren't in the service. Of course, we always honor our servicemen. But even the ones that weren't have given up a lot for that flag. All of us, it's Labor Day, that work our butts off. And pay taxes, which, by the way, I believe taxation stuff. But still, we're still doing it because we're trying to keep some semblance of law and order and keep the United States of America going, right? And I want to, for a split second, to say, you burn that flag, you POS. I wish you didn't have the right to do that. But then I stop and think about it, because that's not how I really feel. I do still feel they're a POS when they burn the flag. And I mean burning it out in the street and desecrating it. Yes, there is a proper procedure where you're supposed to burn a flag if it becomes tattered, worn. I'm not talking about that type of flag burning, guys. But yeah, in the end, yeah, of course they have the right to burn the flag. The very amendment that gives them the right to do it, they can go against it. It's kind of a circular thing, but that's what we need to realize. These rights still belong to all of us, even our enemies. And those people that say, well, the Second Amendment doesn't matter. Okay. All right. Why? Because you don't like guns? Because you believe the fake news and the fake statistics? Because John Lott wrote a book that said more guns, less crime. And those are real statistics. But even if they're not a statistical person and they just like to use their feelings and their emotions, I'm sure there's something they feel for and that they hold dear. Maybe they have a favorite book that they would like to not get burned. Because when you abolish the Second Amendment, you can't just put holes in this stuff. You can have the strongest ship. And once you put a hole in the hull, what happens, guys? I know there's got to be at least some sailors out here. It starts to take on water. And the more she takes on water, the slower the boat moves until she finally can't hold anymore and she sinks. And there goes the ship. And in this case, the Bill of Rights. So you can't just pick which one you want and say, well, I like guns more than books. So as long as I can keep my guns, I'm going to take away someone's right to say preposterous, stupid things on the step of the Capitol. You can't say that. But just like those people that are saying preposterous, stupid things on the step of the Capitol, because you have the right to be stupid. And probably a lot of people think I'm stupid, which is just fine. Some people think I'm smart, which is even better. But you can't just sit there and say, well, I only hold the second dear, but not the first. Okay? Because as soon as you get the right to talk about this stuff, it becomes out of the mainstream, and then maybe the younger generation won't even know about guns. Have you ever thought about that? We need the first to keep the second going. We also need the second to keep the first going, because it clearly states right in the founding documents, when the government goes against these means, it's our duty to abolish it. Well, how are you going to abolish it? By saying nice things? By saying, Mother, may I? By saying, if it pleases the crown? No. A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state. They said it was necessary for a reason. And it has to do with those founding document clauses found in, again, the Declaration of Independence, many other writings too. So just keep that in mind. They're trying to use rhetoric. They're trying to use terminologies. Just don't buy into that crap. And yeah, you guys probably know I generally am probably more of a Republican than a Democrat. Yeah, but I don't buy into a lot of the stuff the Republicans say either. I don't believe anybody's going to, quote, save the day and make me happy. I have to make myself happy. And then, which I am blessed to have, lovely family members, close friends, they're going to help feed that happiness. And I'm going to try to give some back. And they're going to give me some back. But no one's going to give you anything on November 3rd. This is your country, and you have to take it, and you have to keep it. I've said this quote before, but I'll keep saying it, and I'm paraphrasing it. I'll probably mess up one of the words, but when Franklin was asking, what have we, sir, a monarchy or a republic? He said a republic if you can keep it. And that's what's going on right now. And my last thing was, well, are we in a civil war? Well, that can mean a lot of things to a lot of people. I don't want one, but maybe we already have one. And you still need to vote, though. You still need to get out there. And you still need to spread the truth and get rid of these misinformations, whether we're in one or not. Because if we're in one, we need to win and keep our country. And keep a safe place for our families. If we're not in one yet, well, then we still need to do the same exact thing to prevent it, right? So either way, you're not going to lose. Here's the thing. As much as a lot of people hate America, and this isn't perfect, they said from the very beginning, a more perfect union. Even the founding fathers never said anything was going to be perfect. They believed, most of them being Christians, that their God was going to be perfection. That this life on earth was just a trial to get there. Although we should still do the best we can on earth to try to get to where we ultimately want to be. And that can mean things for different people, okay? But in this case, it was the Christian God that this country was founded on. And they also immediately added in that, yeah, freedom of religion, of course. So, like I said, I don't want to dwell on that right now. It means whatever it wants to mean to you, but you're going to get somewhere eventually, right? But you're still supposed to make this world, and in this case, your country, your state, your city, your township, you're still supposed to make it the best place you can. Heck, I assume most of you, your parents did the best they could to make it a good place for you and your grandparents, etc. Now, as good as they were, a lot of the past generations were complacent. Well, stuff only goes so far. You can only sit there and be a complacent generation for usually about one generation. And then guess what? Somebody has to stand up and fight, or else you lose all of it. So unfortunately, I think we're in the fighting generation right now, guys. In all generations, there's been fights. And when I say fight, I think we know what I mean. Hopefully not physically, but just sitting here talking about this stuff with your friends and neighbor and family and say, do you know how preposterous that is? That Biden says he can buy back something that he never gave us? Do you know how preposterous that is when the governor says, I'll give you your rights back, I'll give you your liberties back? That is fighting, in my opinion. That's fighting the good fight. And that's fighting against ministries of information, ministries of truth, back to Orwell again. That is actually fighting, guys, and we should always keep fighting that fight. And there's some people who put on uniforms to patrol our cities to fight. There's people that put on uniforms and go to faraway countries. There's people that put on uniforms in bases and in camps here to fight. But you can still fight on the streets too. Maybe you used to wear a uniform to fight. Now you took it off. You're back as a civilian again. You know what it's like to fight? Keep doing it. Maybe you never wanted to wear the uniform, but you're still fighting as much as anyone that did. Maybe you wanted to, but you couldn't join. But you still all have people that you know, and you still all have people that you can talk to about this stuff. And notice, I never told you should tell anybody what they're supposed to think, but I think if you refer back to the founding documents and just remind people that these rights are so much over any politician you could ever elect's head, and that this is supposed to be a country of the people, by the people, and for the people, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. You talk about finding things we can compromise on, agree on. Compromise is a tricky word. So it usually just means the people in the majority seeing how much they can take from you. And if they let you keep a couple of scraps, that's a compromise. So compromise, I don't really like that word too much. I don't want to compromise any of my fundamental rights. But agreement, it is good to come to some agreement. And look to people, regardless if they have different social issues than you, say, can we at least agree on life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness? And then if anybody becomes contrary to those means, to abolish and create it again, see if you can at least agree on that. Now, you'll never get everyone to agree on anything, and there's some miserable people out there. There really are. You can't even get them to agree that we should have life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. I get it, but it doesn't mean you shouldn't try. I'm trying every day, and I know a lot of you guys are trying even harder and better than me. So, yeah, just thought I'd go on that little rant and give you guys some encouragement. Curtis Reynolds with a super chat. Thanks a lot, man. He says, hey, man, good to see you're well. Yeah, I'm doing good. I just got off a lawnmower a few minutes ago. It got dark, and now I'm hanging out with you guys for a few. He says, good to see you're doing well. So I bought a bunch of HSM 7mm rim mag. That's a good round. 7 rim mag. Wow. I like that. VLD. Actually, I can put that right on the screen there. Okay, cool. They won't chamber. Okay. I can't close the bolt. All my other 7mm non-burgers chamber fine. Headspace has been checked multiple times. Any ideas why? Okay, you guys don't owe me anything. I'm going to do the phone a friend. We're playing Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. Can you guys please come and chime in? Because some of you guys are literally more experts on these. So let me see here. Okay. VLD 168 grain burgers. Now that's a bullet, right? Or do they sell loaded ammunition too? Because I know Burgers makes. Let me see here if there's anybody else chiming in. Trey Orr, yes, sir. I agree. It means no compromise on my guns. Yeah, we don't compromise. That's why I was trying to make the words, separate the words. But you should think, you should have a reasonable conversation with someone if you can just start with life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And if they acknowledge that, say, well, look, this Bill of Rights is one complete document. All of this is encompassed. And that's where you can get people to start to think. And I've had this happen. They start to think about the Second Amendment a little bit. They're like, well, hold on a minute. I cannot like guns, but still support it. Because you're saying if I take it out, there's a hole. And I could lose all of it. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. Sometimes people can actually start to think a little bit. You know? Your results may vary, of course. Because there's some really, really stubborn, crazy people out there. Okay, so I'm guessing won't chamber. I can't close the bolt. I'm guessing you're probably having something to do with maybe the rounds aren't set in the case at the proper depth. Does that make sense? Or if these are reloads, if the brass was, once fire breast that it wasn't resized properly because it expands, right? And then there's a resizing die that kind of cinches it back down again. I don't know. There's some guys in here who literally specialize in ammo. Burger projectile. Okay, that's what I thought. HSM's the manufacturer of the round. Okay, yeah. I'm sorry. HSM. I know exactly who they are. I have some of their 8mm Mauser in the other room. Okay, Burger makes the projectile, which I thought. Burger bullets, right? Okay, Tyler's saying the bullet hits the rifle and won't let you chamber it any further. So is that because we have too long of a bullet? Maybe for some reason in his particular rifle, you can't load that heavy of a grain or long of a projectile? Is that what we're thinking here? So hopefully this is helping you, Curtis. Tons of people are giving you some advice. I know more about ammo than like someone that doesn't own a gun, but I'm not an ammo expert, okay? But I do have some friends that are willing to bail me out. All right. I'm super far behind here on the chat, like forever. And I was going to start off just by saying hi to you guys. See what I do? But maybe you guys liked that little, do you call it a rant or I don't know. Soliloquy? I don't know. J-Dub, what's happening? They don't give rights taken away? Yeah, they don't give back rights taken away in the first place. Yeah, you're right. And that's something I'm glad you mentioned that I left out. First of all, they never gave them to us. How can they give them back? But once they take, they do never, quote, give them back. Once they take, they usually just take. So I'm glad you brought that up. Patty Leather, how's it going? Everyone that I have met sold a gun has regretted selling it. Yep. Out of your personal stash. You know what? People have so many stories. Yeah. Share your stories, guys. You sold a gun and you regretted it. Everyone's had that happen at least once, right? Sorry, guys. I'm a little congested. I was just out mowing, and the stretch I was at, it's like we're this big gravel area. This was at a commercial property, meets grass, and the grass was getting tall. So I was mowing over half grass, half gravel, and I probably should have put on a mask. I don't put on a mask for Gretchen reasons. I mean literally for work. True work safety reasons. I probably should have put on a mask because I just realized I breathed in quite a bit of dust a few minutes ago. This coffee will help. I just realized my throat's a little scratchy and I can kind of feel that dust that I was just eating for the last hour or so. Brastard 762, how's it going, man? Obama gave out tens of thousands of machine guns and others to jihadis and cartels. They won't be buying those back anytime soon. Actually, that's awesome. They should be buying those back. Now, that is a true case. You're right, Brastard. Thanks for bringing that up. If our government gives out guns to whatever, and we later on find out they're a terrorist group that means harm to the U.S., we should, he says buy back. I know what he means. We should just take back, right? Buy it back, but not give them any money. So I totally agree. That is a true case where a buyback would be appropriate. They used to call it lend-lease. You guys familiar with that? We would have what was called lend-lease programs with other countries. Now we just give, and then they become radical to our views and to our republic. We just let them keep them anyways. We don't go back and take them. I think we should take those. I'm totally fine with that. Mr. S, what's happening? Does ATF destroy the firearms background checks once the background checks get approved? Okay. Good question. Legally, yes. Do they really? I don't know. You'll have to decide. I don't like to promote conspiracies here. So, in my opinion, of course they don't. They keep everything. They keep every text message you've ever sent. They keep every phone call you've ever made. They're probably watching you take a shower. Probably. I don't know. This is just my commentary. But, yes, according to federal statute, they have to destroy the phone and background check that information. Yes. Okay, that's my official answer. I don't think so. And it's sad and it's wrong, okay? I'm not smiling because I'm happy about it. It's just like, so I don't know if that answered your question or not. Legally, yes, okay? Legally, yes. How much do they follow the law? That's the better question. Let me ask you a question back, man. How much do you believe they follow their own laws? If you believe they do, well then, yeah, of course. They're all destroyed. They're all destroyed at the close of business. Not a problem. Never to be seen again. Adam Kinesh, what's happening? Yeah, as the old saying goes, they can have them when they pry them from my cold, dead hands. It's a good one. That's a good saying, isn't it? Charlton Heston made it famous. I don't know invented that saying, but it's been attributed to Charlton Heston. I think somebody actually said it before him. Let's see here. We've got A-Dubs. What's up, A-Dubs? Yeah, he says we already have bi-weekly protests in towns as small as population 4,000 here in Missouri. Yes, it's going to be a hot autumn. And he's saying at Rusty Williams. Yes, I agree with you. And how's it going, Rusty? You must have been in here before I went off on my little rant that I wasn't even planning to do. But hey, this happens, right? Apple Pie, what's happening? Says just wear it. Sometimes you have to. Must have been responding to an earlier one, but nice to see you. Susan Wiki's in the house. See, there you go. Two-way Edie always speaks negatively of me, but I am a really sweet lover scorn. Okay, here's the deal, Susan. We speak negatively, right? But I've been sending you flowers every week. You don't write, you don't call. Are you two-timing me, Susan? I thought we used to be friends. So, I don't know. Scorned woman. Susan's a scorned woman. And she is in the chat tonight. You know what I saw? I don't know if they're in here tonight, but somebody come into my comments of a video that I put out. I think it was today they came in. Their name was Corn Pop. Ooh, they reminded me I'm a bad dude. So we've got Susan Wiki here. We've got, I don't know if in this chat, but we had Corn Pop. Man, you know you've made it when real life celebrities are coming into you're streaming your videos to hang out. We finally made it, ladies and gentlemen. We're hanging out with the likes of Corn Pop and Susan Wiki. And people like Stephen Kennedy. What's happened, Stephen? How's it going? Tyler? Gozich? What's happening? Yep. Molin Labe. Come and take it. GOA all the way. Yes, sir. I like GOA. You know that. I've been a supporter of them for a while. I keep this right here for occasions such as this. I hear the NRA supporting red flag laws still. Still. I got to do a little more research, but that's what I understand. And no, I don't think so. Can't support anybody, no matter who they are. Literally, no matter who they are. It doesn't matter. If they're supporting red flag laws, out of here. The president better never speak a word of that again. I think that's what we need to do. We need to get Trump to, once and for all, talk about it one more time during this campaign trail. I'm not sure what we can do to make him do it, but he needs to talk about it. He needs to up or down. I will guaranteed veto it no matter what, if that's his answer. Or, yeah, I still like take it quick. Take the guns first, then due process. He needs to tell us where he's at on that very quickly. Because I certainly don't want Joe Biden to win. Don't anyone take that way. But red flag laws, I'm pretty much a single issue voter. Red flag laws. Of course, Biden wants them too, but I need an up and down answer. Trump's kind of just not really talked about it in a long time, but I hear there's some new buzz that the NRA is back into that again. And they're the ones that planted it in his head the first time. Not that he hasn't supported gun control in the past, because he has, right? But red flag laws, that's something that it's not as in vogue to talk about them anymore. I've talked about them on this channel before, but maybe I need to keep reminding people of that here. Red flag laws are literally, fundamentally, probably the worst gun control we could have. Now, I say worse in air quotes because it's all worse. Like anything beyond any infringement shall not be infringed, right? So if you even have one regulation, in one sense, they're all equally bad. But the problem with red flag laws, it doesn't just violate the Second Amendment. It violates the First because you have to watch what you say in public now and walk around with a muzzle because you're afraid of ticking somebody off that could flag you and make you lose your Second Amendment rights because you are truly in this system they want to put in. Guilty. Take the guns first, then due process. Paraphrasing a quote from President Trump. Red flag laws, according to Trump, is he likes them. Take it quick. Take the guns first, then due process. So just think about that. So now it's also violating your due process of law. It's violating what's called the takings clause. It's violating your First Amendment rights. You also have a secret court hearing, right? Where you're not even invited to it. You don't even know about it. So the red flag law gets to be put on you completely behind your back. And then you just find out when they show up at the door. And this has happened, and at least one, if not, I think 2 people have died from this. The cops come, they kick in the door, they shoot your dog, And if it's not going exactly the way perfect or there's any confusion, they shoot you. So that's what red flag truly is. Someone makes up some crap about you. They've got beef. Like Susan Wiki said in the chat, you've got a scorned lover. She's scorned. You guys know what that means. It only means one thing. It means many things, but it only means one thing. She's scorned. Susan's scorned. You broke up. You said we're never, ever, ever getting back together. Okay, just to set the stage. So scorned occurs. And then, bam. Boom, boom, flashbang, boom, boom, roof, push. What the heck? Push. That's proven fact has happened already with red flag laws. So do we want a bunch of ruby ridges? I don't know. Shoot the baby out of your wife's arms. Shoot your dog. Shoot your kids. Shoot you. I mean, this stuff happens when they go in hot and they just bust the door down. Guns a-blazing, all because you broke up, you divorced, you did whatever. This could just be someone in town you work with that convinces the local deputy or the local policeman that you're bad, and all of a sudden it's just your doors kicked open. And you never even had a warning. You never even got to say, well, Your Honor, she's nuts. And I have documentation proving it. And, well, proving a woman's nuts is, I love you women out there watching. That was a joke. Anyways. You don't need proof for that, but I love y'all. Oh, boy. Here comes the thumbs down from the women watching. No, you guys know what I'm saying, though, for real. But it can work the other way, too. Hold on, women. Hold on. I made a joke. Let's switch it around, though. You know, you could have a woman, avid gun owner. There's people in the chat right now that are women that own guns, more guns than most of the guys in here. You want to leave your boyfriend, your husband, whatever. He sees you with some other guy. There you go. He couldn't move on. You moved on, but he couldn't. You know, your ex-husband, your ex-boyfriend can red flag you too. You come in and shoot your dog. Women have dogs too. So I shouldn't just, you know, use the Susan analogy. I just had to because Susan was in here. Apple pie, the USA won't be, per se, won't be taken, but cease to exist. That's an interesting way to look at it. Yeah, I like where you're heading with that. I see that. We've got Hillbilly Hal. What's happening? We've got Chris Plummer. We've got Robert Bevington. Okay, he's saying that all this chaos is orchestrated by Satan. America is the only thing standing in his way. Race war initiated by the media. Virus pushed by the media. And I've talked about that in my last stream. And, man, yeah, the media. So much of this is being pushed by the media. And why? Why are we letting them get by with it? There was just more polls that just came out. With this Kung Flu, I call it. It's called many things, guys. You can call it whatever you want. But this Kung Flu of China, yeah. They say only 35% of Americans believe the media. Well, then why are like 99% of the people following them? If I don't believe you and you tell me what to do, why would I do it? So that is kind of that's another conundrum we have to figure out, isn't it? 90-something people are completely abiding by all of their governor's edicts and orders and things that are being propagated by the media, mainstream media. But only 35% of those same people that are complying with it actually believe anything they're being told. Here, how about this? I'm going to tell you a lie, and I'm not going to tell you where we're going. I'm going to tell you where we're going, but let me tell you up front, it's not going to be where you think. It's not going to turn out good when we get there, and we're going to do things you aren't going to like, but I'll tell you you're going to like it even though you're not. You want to hop in my car and go with me? Who the heck would do that? Well, 65% of Americans think that of the mainstream media, but 99% hop in the car, put on the blindfold. And then when they're dangling over the plank and they're looking down and the sharks are in the water and they're watching them throw a little bit of chum in there, and they're like, all right, time to push you off. Well, what the heck did you think would happen? You knew you couldn't trust them and you still followed them? That's something I'm having a hard time understanding. Have any of you guys been having a hard time with that too? It kind of blows my mind. Bill Alexander, what's happening, man? Funas, what's up? It's not the government that gives us our rights. It's God and our inherent right. Yes. And I've not made any bones about it, guys. I'm a Christian, but I truly believe as far as the Declaration of Independence, they say creator. We also have freedom of religion. Yes, the United States was founded on the Christian God, That's the one I believe in. But I'm not here to try to convert any of you into Christianity. That's not the purpose of this stream tonight. But any religion that you have, okay, that you sincerely hold, any sincerely held religious beliefs, that's your creator. That's who gave you your rights. And that's what the founding fathers said. So unless you literally believe, let's say you lived in Michigan, that Gretchen Whitmer created you, she's not your creator. J-Dub, the second member protects the rest, yes. White Space Marines, what's happening, man? He said, now that is some knowledge. What's happening, dude? Nice to see you. Fluffy, 10mm Jeep guy, what's happening, man? Another local guy here from Michigan, nice. 64 Samsky, what's happening? Yeah, actually. 64 Samsky, go to a shooting range and take a picture of Biden, Pelosi, or any of the other swamp critters and see how much freedom of speech you have. Yeah, there is different social experiments you guys can do for sure, aren't there? Did you guys end up helping out Curtis Reynolds? I've still got him on the screen here. Hopefully, Curtis, you got what you needed. There's some people that know a lot more than I do. But HSM's usually a good company. Wouldn't you guys agree? And Burger, that's a pretty famous Burger Bullets. They're a pretty famous projectile company with a good reputation too. We got Marines in the house. Shout out to all the Marines out there. Bill Alexander's giving you guys a shout out. Semper Fi. That's what you guys say to each other, don't you? You guys know what it means. Now, I know it's Latin, but when you're a Marine, it has a lot more meaning. You don't say it to each other unless you're a Marine, basically. What's happening, Tree Guy? How you doing, man? Bare bones. We the people will show them who is in control of this beautiful country. There is still a lot of beauty. Don't ever take these little rants I go off on as doom and gloom. No, it's beautiful, but you need to think about the tough stuff. Because if you don't, it's not so beautiful if you don't acknowledge it. How's it going, Tree Guy? I hope you're good, man. Separation of church and state, he's saying. America will break up. Certainly, this country was founded upon God, guys. It was. Literally. And I'm not advocating for separation of church and state. And I'm not saying that you're saying I'm saying that. That came out weird. No one's saying that I'm saying that. But that's not what I'm advocating for. I'm literally saying that you can practice different religions in this country. And that is one of the core fundamental rights in the Bill of Rights. Which I hold all of it dear. White Space Marines. Yes. Make sure you tell all your liberal socialists. Because liberal means different things now. I'm glad he was more specific. Liberal socialist. Because a classic liberal is now a conservative. I'm just saying. Some of you guys are going to know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm not going to read it because I respect people's privacy. But a man sent me an email earlier today. And I'm still smiling from reading it. And I'm going to respond to it after this. It's been a Democrat a long time. Look. Classic liberal. Literally now means conservative. Now, I'm not putting any words in you classic liberals' mouths, but I think you guys know what I mean. These far left fascist Bolsheviks, Marxist type people, that's not a classic liberal. And the classic liberals I've met are just as appalled by that as people who have been lifelong conservatives, for example. So, yeah, the meaning of words can change sometimes over time if enough people keep using it the wrong way and enough people keep spreading it, right? So I do think it's important when we talk about liberal. Now, most of us know what we mean when we say it real quick in a joke. You know, the liberals, the libtard, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, but there are people out there that are more classic liberals. And they may have some certain stances that are a little bit different than us that would call ourselves conservatives, right? But when it comes to things like God and country, and this still being a republic, if we can keep it, your classic liberals still believe in that. And they still believe standing for the flag, okay? They still believe in praising God. They still believe in all those things. So I'm glad you actually worded it that way. Liberal socialist vote on November 11th, right? So there you go. Tell all your friends that. But you know what's ironic about that, dude? Have you guys thought about that? They will still be voting on November 11th. I think President Trump is right on this that he said. He said that he's right on a lot of things, by the way, guys. He was wrong when he said take the guns first, then due process. I'll tell you when he's wrong, but he's right on a lot. And I like a lot of things that he says. But when he said that we're still going to be counting votes for months after this, with this mandatory mail-in and mass mail-ins, they're going to still have votes coming in for months. So as much as you were joking, and historically that'd be like, yeah, tell the socialists and communists that voting's on the 11th. No, they still will be voting on the 11th. And that's what's kind of crazy. And Trump said it's going to be months, if not years, until they can finally tabulate the votes. It's pretty scary. It's pretty scary. I don't think it'll happen. I guess I'm fooling myself. I hope it won't happen. Nancy Pelosi could be the temporary or interim president, guys. There's actually a very plausible path for that. President Nancy Pelosi, or interim president. Look, guys, if they can't get the votes tabulated, I think you guys already know this. If not, I'll inform you right here. If they can't get the votes tabulated and there's no clear winner, or they both declare themselves winners, Sleepy Joe and Trump, if they get in there and both of them say, I've won the presidency, but the votes can't be certified, or they can't be rigged enough, or whatever you want to call it, because I do believe rigging's going on right now and will happen. I do believe that. Pence doesn't become the president. Pence does not become the president, guys. He only becomes the president if for whatever reason Trump becomes incapacitated, dies, or resigns, or gets removed. You know, any of those things could happen. Then Pence becomes president, but only up until, what, the 19th? By the time the 20th hits, Pence has to get out of the White House too. And if it's not a declared winner, Biden can't move in, Trump has to leave. And we will have president, interim, or acting, or whatever you want to call it, President Pelosi. Now, if they still can't get the votes in after a certain amount of time, the House has to vote. There's only a little silver lining in this. This still isn't good. We don't want to get to this, but the House doesn't just vote up and down. It's not just yays and nays. Because if it was that, of course they'd vote for Biden. There's a fairly large control of Democrats in the House. And there might be one or two. I know Jeff Van Drew came over from the Democrat Party to the Republican Party, but let's just say 99%, if not all of the Democrats would vote. But it actually goes by states. You guys can look this up. Just look it up. Just so you know the concept. It goes by states. So all of the representatives of that state would have to vote, and then that state would get to cast their ultimate vote for president. But it's within the House of Representatives is where the vote would go. And this has happened before, okay? This has happened, 3 times, maybe 4 times in the history of this country? So this is not something where it's like, there's no way this could ever possibly happen. It has happened before. But in the meantime, this still takes months, if not. I don't think Trump's like too far off when he said, months, but it could be years. So this whole like Pelosi interim president thing, that could be bad. And she could sit there and write executive orders as fast as she could. You know what I bet you she's probably doing right now? And tell me if you guys have thought of this. I bet you right now she has her staff writing up executive orders just because she knows there's a decent chance this could happen. I'm not saying this is going to happen, though. But it could, yeah. She'd probably having her staff write them up right now. And even if she's only interim president for one day, she could sit there and scribble as fast as she can and sign thousands of executive orders in one day. But what happened then? I guess if Trump ultimately becomes the legal winner, he could unsign them all. Would he? I don't know. Tell you what, Trump didn't unsign any of the gun control executive actions that were put in place by Obama, by Clinton, by the first George Sr. Bush. He didn't unsign any of those. He did sign a couple of his own gun control executive actions, I have to note. Okay, he did do that, but he didn't take any of them off. Would he? I don't know. Here's the concept, though. Nancy Pelosi sitting there with 2,000 executive actions. They're probably written right now. Probably I'm wrong, guys. I'm probably dead wrong. Yeah, I'm dead wrong. 2,000? Are you kidding me? That's such a low number. Of course I'm wrong. She probably has like 5,000 and will have 10,000 by January. If it gets down to the point where it's just known, that. I'm getting a headache, guys. And just thinking about this. Interim President Nancy Pelosi. I mean, if this isn't the swamp, if this isn't they've been in the Congress their whole entire life and all they've accomplished is taking away our life, liberty, pursuit of happiness, and making themselves millions of dollars, if Pelosi isn't the definition and epitome of that concept, then what is? Well, I guess you could put Biden right up next to her. These people have been doing this for 50 years, and all of a sudden they say right now, just think about that too. For people that are like, well, we need a change of pace. We need Biden because we need a change of pace. I've heard people say that. Change of pace? Who are you kidding? You're kidding yourself. Biden's been doing this for 50 years. If he had some great plan, for the United States, wouldn't have we seen it by now? What, only up and until he gets probably, allegedly, dementia. All of a sudden then he can finally think clearly? This guy hasn't been knowing what he's doing or doing anything good since the day he got on the political stage. Don't take my word for it. Type in Biden gaffes. Type in Biden racist and look it up. It's on YouTube. You can find it in 10 seconds. This guy's been a racist for 50 years. And all of a sudden we need a new change? There's nothing new here. Pelosi, interim President Pelosi? The lady's literally been doing this longer than many people's natural lives. You can go back to before Ruth Bader Ginsburg was on the Supreme Court. Pelosi was still there. These people have always been doing it. It's crazy. What's happening, Tim Blaze? How you doing, man? Nice to see you. You guys are talking a little religion, which is cool. You know, people can fight over religion, but we can talk about it too. It's cool. He says Bible doesn't say to be a certain sect. You know, people read it different ways. All I'm trying to say is we have religious liberty. We have religious liberty under the state. What you believe God commands you to do, well, that's what you're commanded to do. And for most people who have any religious beliefs at all, when God commands you to do something, it's a lot higher authority than your governor or your senator or your president of the United States. But it does say in the Bible to give unto Caesar what is unto Caesar. So it's not that they want us to all be completely just ruthless and be out there. Because if you look at it, I've said this oftentimes. Let me just say this. If you took, as far as a country goes, a government, if you took our founding documents, okay, founding documents, what? We'll just sum it up. There's many documents, but let's go with the main ones. Declaration of Independence, U.S. Constitution as amended with the Bill of Rights, the first 10 amendments. So if you took those, the Bill of Rights, the Constitution literally tells us how to have the nuts and bolts of how to have the country, the organization of it, right? That's the rule book, if you will, for the government, okay? The Declaration is basically saying the goal and the spirit of what this country is going to be, just to sum it up quickly here. And then the Bill of Rights is like, no, we need to enumerate these things. Not that we're granting them. No, these are things we need to protect the people from the government. Hands off government shall not be infringed. These are rules and restrictions and prohibitions on the government. These are rights that should just be acknowledged under life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. But no. As Jefferson said, you know, basically to sum it up, men are not angels, right? So he knew, and they knew. So they added those 10 prohibitions. So if you take the concept, the theory of this country, the Declaration, the rule book, if you will, the nuts and bolts, the construction of how things physically are to work, the Constitution, and then the amendments, again, the reminder, don't tread on me is basically what the Bill of Rights says. If you really read the Bill of Rights, it says, don't tread on me. If you took all of those, and then the 10 commandments from the Bible, in my opinion, that's all the laws we need. Just to put it bluntly, people talk about, well, this law, that law. Yeah, we're in a system where there's millions of laws. And just one section of the code, like the U.S. tax code, takes a whole pallet of printed paper. And Rand Paul shot it with an AR-15 when he was running for president in 2016, which was awesome. Go look for that clip. It might still be on YouTube. If Susan Wiki, if you're watching, if you took that off, put it back up where Rand Paul's shooting the U.S. tax code. But no, just to put it bluntly, I'm being dead serious too. Bill of Rights, Constitution, Declaration, and the 10 Commandments. What more do you need? If people truly followed all of them, we wouldn't have the need to fix a lot of these quote-unquote issues. My opinion. Cave Dave's in the house. What's happening, man? I'm like an hour behind on the chat, guys. I'm trying to catch up here. If I skip some of you guys, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to catch up to. If I missed anything crazy good, just hit me up again. You guys can repeat it because I did go on like a little while without reading, which I like to read. But there's more of you guys in here than I thought there would be. So I'm not able to read every single question like I thought I was going to be tonight. But I'm glad you guys are here. Leonard Mason's in the house. What's happening? M.I. Crafter, RJL, Paul Sharon. What's happening? Saying catch up. Well, come on, man. Come on, man. Corn Pop was a bad dude. I had to take Corn Pop out for you guys, okay? Come on. Seriously, Corn Pop did pop up. Corn Pop did pop up. The channel's name is Corn Pop, okay? He showed up in the channel today. He left a nice comment too. Are you guys surprised? Of course Corn Pop's a fan of the 28EDU channel. Everyone that follows the 28EDU channel is a bad dude or a bad chick. You know what I mean? In a good way. I don't mean bad as in evil. I mean bad as in like, you know, Corn Pop was a bad dude. That kind of bad. Oh, geez. Rise and shine. Yeah, look, I'm not. And if you guys want to talk about this in the chat, you can. I don't care. I'm just telling you guys this. This is just a fact. This isn't for me to talk about which religion's better, guys. Okay? To clarify. God was part of when the United States was formed, okay? When it was formed, God was a big part of it, okay? These were religious, for the most part, Christian people that formed our country. That's just me going over history, guys. And I think it's a good history. So me personally, yeah. But it doesn't mean that your religious beliefs aren't sincerely held if you have another religion. I'm sure they are. I have no doubt. And you have the right to that. These same founding fathers that worshipped a certain God, they did put, you know, that the government is not going to be able to pick your religion for you. And I don't think the government should pick anything for us, is what it really comes down to. Let's see here. How does get into a religious conversation so quickly, guys? You have to mention religion, though, when you talk about the very founding of the country, for sure. Yes, and if you want to support the channel, guys, a lot of you guys do with super chats. It's totally awesome. Patreon, Subscribe Star. Some of you just send me stuff in the mail. I truly appreciate it, and I hope you guys see enough new stuff come on the channel to see that I am actually putting it back in, because I am. And I don't make a lot of money where I can just completely support all this new stuff without you. So you guys are awesome. And for those of you that don't have any money, and this is why I don't feel bad asking, because it doesn't cost you a penny, my Amazon link. It's down in the description of this video and all of them. You just click on it. It takes you there. It's an affiliate link. I get a small percentage. Like it might be pennies per item, pennies on the dollar, whatever, right? But it does add up where I can buy something for the channel at the end of the month, and I do, and I show it on there. So it doesn't raise your price. It doesn't get rid of any sales that you already have. Nothing like that, okay? So that's why I don't feel bad asking for it, because it's literally no sweat off your back. I just want to remind you guys because some people actually forget about it. So T-check. Actually, you know what? It got kind of cold tonight. So I'm actually rocking some coffee here still, okay? The tea's over there in the cooler out in the truck. Yeah, thank you, Zach the Ripper. No, again, you know, I've never come on here and asked you guys for money, but I am asking you guys if you could just remember to click on that Amazon link, because it doesn't cost you nothing. And yeah, half this crap, they demonetize it. Sometimes they partially do, and it makes it where it's just, I don't want to get into a whole thing on Susan, because she's in here right now. She was just talking, and she said she's scoring, so. Ooh. All right. Tim Shock, relatively new subscriber and fellow Taurus fan, just saying hi. How's it going, man? Yeah, lots of Taurus fans here. I used to, if you guys remember that have been around the channel, I used to actually show Tauruses and many other guns. Susan, can't handle, can't touch, they say, guns in a live stream. So there you go. That's why people sometimes say, hey, man, I don't want to talk politics. I want to see guns on your live stream. Well, write Susan Wiki. I don't even know how you get a hold of her, but write her if you know her address and tell her, hey, get rid of your draconian, infringing anti-gun policies. And then we'll touch guns again on the live streams, because I used to do it a lot. I love nothing more. Of course, I'm still going to talk about politics because I like to. It's fun, but yeah. Gary Weisner caught another live stream. Nice. Hillbilly Hal, Patty needs to bake a cake. I'm not sure who Patty is in this instance, if that's the generic or the literal. Bad Wolf, 2 + 2 = 5. What's happening, Bad Wolf? White Space Marines, Corn Pop. Come on, man. Come on, man. Did you guys hear about that? How the Secret Service had a complaint that they deleted, and now there's an investigation, a fact-finding FOIA request, I believe it is, specifically, trying to find that complaint that they supposedly deleted of Biden touching. Basically, he did this, okay, to a Secret Serviceman's girlfriend. You have to keep an eye out on that. Apparently, Biden's been touching people for a long time. Allegedly, I'll say, but it's been reported. Yes. Thank you for reminding them of that, Linda. And don't forget to go over to the Patriot EDU channel and subscribe too. Quick story for you guys over there. I promised you guys Friday there'd be a new video up. Well, there's not. And you want to know why? Susan. So that channel, it's a small channel. It's got maybe 500-ish subs on it. I need to get it to 1,000 though, so I can stream from it, guys. I don't want to get it big just to make it big, but I want to stream. Can't stream yet. Anyways, so if you want to run over there, I appreciate it. I said, you'll have a video up this weekend. Well, I went to do it after the stream, and there was a guy that put on an awesome video. He has like 1.2 million subscribers. I'm saying this for a reason. 800,000 views on the video. And at the end of the video, he says, I want to get this message and word out there. So anybody who wants to, I encourage you and give you full permission to go to this link in my description. And he puts the link there to Dropbox. Download it. Here's the thumbnail you can use. So he literally full permission / I want you to download this video, upload it to your channel. Use it. I just want this message out there. So I said, okay. It was a little bit of, in my opinion, it was actually really funny and straight truth. But it was a little edgy, probably according to Susan and her rules. I get that. But I'm looking at it, and I'm like, well, this guy's got almost 1 million views on it. Apparently, Susan's fine with it on his channel. So I downloaded it just like he said we could. I would never steal anyone's content, guys. This wasn't stealing. This was literally him saying, you have my full permission. Please download it. Here's the link to do it. You have all rights to it. You can monetize it if you want. You can do whatever. It's yours. Now, I don't have that account's not monetized, but whatever. You guys get the point. I downloaded it. I uploaded it. It was going through it, uploaded, checking. Remember I did that video, was it 3 minutes long last week? Not many people watch that video. It's kind of funny, which is fine. It's fine. I don't care. People complain, your videos are too long, man. Come on, man. Do a 3-minute video. Nobody watches it, but then 8,000 watch the 50-minute video, and not many, but some people complain how long it is. But I'm not here to make everybody happy, and you can't make anybody happy all the time, and you can never make everybody happy any of the time. And I fully realize that's the case. But I digress. I did a video, for those of you that didn't watch it, because not many people did, explaining what it's like behind the scenes to be a YouTuber. You spend all your time, you upload the video. And in this case, I didn't spend any time, but still, I uploaded it. You sit there and you watch, and Susan puts this thing up on your screen, and it says checking video, and you can just hear the noise in the background. And that's called the algorithm. Bum, 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 and it's cluster, you know what, in your video. And it's like, She puts her bib on. She gets out her plate, her salad fork, her dinner fork, her knife, and she starts to cut the steak. And she says, haha, what can I have dinner for today? Oh, how can I censor this guy today? That's what fuels these guys. The more they can censor, the bigger of a beast they become. So she sits there. And she's like, ha, ha, ha. Gotcha. Whap. And my little old nobody channel couldn't upload the video. It literally went through checking video, I always upload everything unlisted. Then when it's up and everything looks good, I make it public. I went to make it public and it said removed and it's in red. And it's like removed is in black, but there's this big red thing next to it. I'm like, okay, I see how it goes. The video is totally up on the original guy's site. I properly linked and everything. I said, hey guys, this isn't my video. Go subscribe to his channel. But I wanted to pass it along. And that's what he wanted, is all his viewers to pass it along. So that is what happens. That is what happens, guys. Michael Moran, what's happening? Truth will usually make you many enemies. Sure, sure. Look, guys, I can only be myself. I don't know if anything I'm saying is true, really. But everything I say is like my truth, meaning I don't ever intentionally lie to anybody. I'm always on here just giving you my honest opinions and talking about stuff the way I see it. So, yeah. I agree with you. Oh, I like Gary's comment. Thank you, Gary. Thanks, dude. Zach enjoys the longer videos. Look, guys, the video, here's what happens. I don't know if you guys knew this or not. Let me say this. I'm going to get off in just a minute. This was only going to be a 1-hour stream. I do kind of sometimes plan how long my streams are going to be. But you can see how good I do at that. This is only going to be a 1-hour stream, he says. Hour and 6 minutes, and I'm not done yet. But look, there's no script on these videos. Once in a while, I'll do like a commentary on a news article. And then I'll read from it, and I'll hold it up just to show you guys, here's the news article. This is what I'm looking at. But even then, it's not scripted. I just might read a little bit of the article. None of my stuff's scripted, guys. There's nothing here. There's nothing next to me. There's no script here, guys. There's literally no script. Okay, look at that. See? Microphone, table. There's nothing. I mean, I'm serious. So there's never been a script, ever, even once. So how long is the video going to be? Well, it just depends. I can go into a video and then my mind starts thinking a certain thing and I remember some extra things and it goes a little longer. Sometimes I forget stuff and after I'm done, I'm like, dang it, I forgot that. So there you go. Tyler says always, well, it's not going to be a complete half hour longer, but well, we'll see. We'll see. Does anyone have any questions at the last minute? You know, you guys are talking about a lot of stuff amongst yourselves, which is totally awesome. I'm not seeing a lot of questions. And see, that's what happens to me, guys. Again, back to this. It is unscripted. And let me ask you guys this. What do you guys want? Scripted, unscripted? Because there's both on YouTube. I'm just going to be what I am. So I'm not saying, like, try to change me, guys. I'm just saying, like, what do you guys prefer? The scripted or the unscripted? Yeah. I might go off on some unique thoughts that would have never been in the script. I'll also read something you guys are saying live that'll kind of get me off on a little bit of a tangent. That might be the positives. You know, I'm always reading and getting you guys as involved as I can in the show. But some people might say, well, I don't know. I'd rather you have a complete and utter script. I'm just wondering. Again, I can only be myself. If I try to change for everybody, you wouldn't like me anyways, because it'd just be like Joe Biden up there. I'm Joe Biden, and I'm going to beat Joe Biden. I mean, I could do that. I could come on my next stream. Welcome to the 2A EDU channel. Hold on. Hold it a little closer. I can't read it. Jill. All right. Am I on? Oh, I'm on. Hi. I'm Joe Biden. I mean, I'm Barack America. I'm 2A EDU, and I'm going to beat 2A EDU. I'm 2A EDU, and I'm a bad dude. Hey, listen here, fat. You want to have a push-up contest? I mean, I could do that. I could. Somebody that's a nomination for the Democrat Party seriously gets on camera like that. Have you guys heard him? Literally. I can't. He looks and he says, well, what is that? Like he can't quite read it. And then every once I hear him mumble, Jill, like where? It's actually sad. As a person, look, his policies, what he advocates for, I condemn. I have hatred towards his policies, but I don't hate him as a person. We shouldn't hate any fellow person. So in that respect, I hope God shows him some mercy. And I think it's terrible that they're parading somebody around that's that much of a shell of themselves. And in my opinion, Susan, probably has medical issues, okay? So in that, I feel bad for the man, even though all of his policies I couldn't be stronger against. So, yeah. Yeah, Linda, he fell asleep on camera the other day. That's what I was. Yeah, Weston, that thing that happened that one time. All men are created. You know the thing. Look, two-way EDU. Okay, that's this channel. Who am I? I'm nobody. I haven't been a United States representative. I haven't been a senator. I haven't been vice president. Certainly, I'll probably never be nominated or be cool enough to run for anything. But I just got done talking about the Declaration of Independence for more than 30 minutes. And the person that's been elevated all the way up to the top of the two major parties, the best he can give you is, you know the thing. That's what I was getting at earlier. Just remind some of your friends that. Seriously, guys, if they truly think that our government is going to fix our problems, or that these people are going to come in with some kind of insight, man alive. You guys know the thing, right? You know the thing. No, it's called a government of the of the people, by the people, for the people. A government that's supposed to support our life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And if it becomes contrary to those means, we abolish it and form a new one that is going to support. This is real easy, guys. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Now, your happiness is a state of mind, and it's something you have to find on your own. Happiness could be smelling the flowers, and I posted on my community post when I was happy to see pretty flowers in my customers' yards before. Seeing my beautiful wife, daughter, that's happiness. For you, it's many things. But life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, it doesn't promise that you're happy. It just says that you will be able to pursue it. Meaning, if there's a bunch of flowers over on the other side of the building, you're allowed to walk around the other side and look at them. If for no other reason than they're just pretty and you just want to look at them or smell them, That's what pursuit means. You can pursue. You still have to put the effort forth, though. Nobody ever said that the government's going to make you happy, or that the founding fathers, or even that God's going to make you happy. No one's going to make you happy, but the government is supposed to be a means and a vehicle for you to pursue your own happiness, for you to have liberty, and for you to have life, meaning breathing. But there's other forms of government, ones that basically look and act a lot like forms of government we're getting here that don't allow you to live. And they kill people with guns and famine. That's certainly not the government preserving your life. Liberty, meaning that these are God-given rights that were endowed by your creator. And that you're basically free to do whatever the heck you want, as long as you're not taking someone else's life, liberty, or happiness away from them. And you don't need someone to write rule books that are millions of pages long to tell you all those exemptions. You know what it is. It's one of those things. You just know it when you see it. You know if that you pursuing your happiness is taking away someone else's, right? It's one of those things. So no, you don't need thousands and millions of pages of laws. And then, like I said earlier, the pursuit of happiness, meaning, go on. You want to walk around that building to smell the flowers? You can, and you're not going to have a guard. You're not going to have a sentry there posted to physically stop you. You're not going to have a tax that you have to pay to do that. And that you're not going to have angry mobs that chase after you if you just want to smell the flowers or look at something that's pretty in life. And we know when the lines cross. You know when you're there peacefully assembling and peacefully protesting. You know what that is, versus you being so violent and destroying so many things that you go from peaceful protester, which is a cherished right that we have, that God gave us, that the government's there to protect. But you know when you cross the line, you know that by you doing your peaceful protest, when it's infringing on other people's rights of life, liberty, and their pursuit of happiness, it no longer becomes that. It very quickly goes from peaceful protest, which this is why we can't trust the news. It was a peaceful protest they'll put up. It was a very peaceful protest. Besides, and you look behind the reporter, stuff's burning, blazing. People are running and screaming at the top of their lungs, running for their life. People are on there, screw so-and-so, kill so-and-so, right behind the reporter. Very peaceful protest. Only 60 people were hospitalized. Only 60 million in physical damages. Only 3 people dead tonight. But other than that, it was very peaceful. You know it when you see it, right? It's just common sense. And if somebody's trying to tell you something, you just know it ain't right, just stick with your gut. You guys are all going to have little ways, all in with this. You guys are going to have little ways of managing the little idiosyncrasies, okay? For example, I might look at a bunch of flowers and say those are beautiful, but Brastard, let's just say, might say, dude, I don't like the color yellow. But he might see a patch of roses over there that he likes. And in Brastard's case, actually, if you go to his channel, you'll see what I mean. The Brastard 762 channel. He actually really likes a lot of the desert species of plants. And I'm actually giving you guys a literal example because I watch his channel. He's going to find the beauty in the cactus in the dry desert state he's in, where I may have lilies here in Michigan. So that's not what we're arguing over, guys. What we're arguing over is, can you go out and look at a bunch of pretty flowers without either A, having a sentry guarding you, a mob chasing you the opposite way, or taxes on you to go just do something that was created naturally for you to enjoy. Do we really have to agree on the teeny things? Because if we can agree with all that, who gives a crap? Brastard 762 is out in the desert looking at a cactus, and I'm not stopping him. And I'm over here cutting someone's grass and looking at some species that thrives in Michigan. And guess what? We can both do it in the same time. And in that example, anyone's common sense would say, that's just right, and that's just natural, and that's what life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness means. But when the city's burning and it's destroyed, and people are dying, and people are scared, and they're scared and intimidated to raise their fist, no, that's called terrorism. And if you look up the definition of terrorism, I'm going to paraphrase, but essentially what it means is when you're using violence, threats of bodily harm, physical harm, to try to get somebody to change over their ideology or their politics, to get them to vote a certain way, to think in a certain frame of mind. If you're threatening them with physical force to do that, that all of a sudden switches completely from a protected, God-given right, government-protected right, to the complete opposite, which is called terrorism. So I think we shouldn't be ashamed to call it what it is when we see it. And you guys are going to have little different idiosyncrasies. Of course, the one example I gave, probably all of us would believe is just. The other example I gave, probably a lot of us would say, no, that's not protected as a protest. All of you are going to have to find your little teeny line in between, and that's for you to decide. And that's what's great about this country. But we certainly have to condemn a lot of stuff that's going on right now because it's just out and out crazy. And I don't really care what anybody says. I'll call it what it is. It's crazy. So, yeah, Gary. Well, I hit Michael's, so we'll look at Michael's because it skipped on me. But Gary said something. Well, we'll read Michael's first. Michael Moran. Laws that lock up people who are collecting rainwater are not laws. 2 systems of law, the constitutional natural law and the corporate maritime strawman system. I talked about that a little bit in my stream the other day. I don't know if you were in there. I talked about like what fascism is, so I'm not going to get onto that a lot. But yeah, we do have corporations. Corporations restricting things that the government can't, but the government's writing out exceptions in the laws to allow the corporations to do it. I talked about that quite a bit the other night. Gary, it's so peaceful that I feel the need to be armed while mowing my grass or playing with my 5-year-old son in my backyard. Yeah. Yeah, I hear you, man. You know what? I'm really sad to read that. That actually makes me pretty sad. It should make all of you sad. And it should make all of you realize, no, enough of this crap. Anyone that's running for president that supports this stuff and does all this stuff and then says, but if you elect me, if you want to believe it, you can, but I don't believe it. Mark Dasher with a super chat. Thanks, man. Constitutional rights is God's blessing. God bless the United States. I believe God has blessed this United States, and I hope he always keeps blessing these many states because we're going to need it. We've always needed it, but we're still going to need it in the future too. Curtis finds his strength through the Lord. And many people do. Which teacheth, blessed be the Lord, which teacheth, I can talk, guys, I promise, my hands to war and my fingers to fight. Yeah, there's verses in the Bible, if you guys have read it, about swords to plowshares and plowshares to swords, you know. There he is, the Texas Outlaw. I shared your video the other day with a few people, man. I liked that video. Give me 1 second, guys. I don't often do this, but I'm going to make you guys wait here. Let me go here. I'm opening up a new YouTube tab. Going over to my subscriptions page. Okay. Where is he at? Where's the Texas Outlaw? Some of you may like this video. Some of you may not. You'll decide if you like it or not, but I liked it. It was raw. This is what YouTube used to be like, guys. Look, I don't care. You may like his point of view. You may hate it. And let me tell you what, he's the last one that'll care. But check this out. Here's a link to my friend Michael Science video. You can disagree with it. You can love it. I don't care. Neither does he, trust me. But no, I like this video. Putting it in there right now. I liked his video because this is how YouTube used to be, where you get on there, you don't give a crap. But it's not just that. I don't know. I liked the video. I liked the video, okay? I did. I don't often really post links to videos in here, but I did today. Does it showing up as a link, guys? Oh, guys, sorry. Warning. Yes, warning. There is a lot of foul language. This is a family-friendly channel, guys. I don't cuss in here. Thank you, Michael. Warning, warning, warning. There is a lot of foul language. I don't necessarily use that type of language, guys, but if you haven't figured it out yet, I'm a little bit classically liberal. Like, I really don't want to micromanage you guys' lives. And I can sit there, and this is a perfect example of this. This actually summarizes a lot of what I've been trying to say tonight. I don't actually use on film some of the words that Michael's using in his video at all. Never. You'll never, ever, ever see it on this channel, okay? But I don't condemn him for it. In fact, I just suggested you go watch his video. I don't condemn him for it, okay? Why? Because I liked his message. That's why I recommend the video. Some of you are going to like the video because of the words he uses. Some of you will like it in spite of it. Some of you will hate it. But at the end of the day, I'm not his mom. He doesn't worship me. I'm not his creator, and I'm certainly not his government. But I just like the raw, old school YouTube aspect of this. Like, you know what? I got something to say. I'm just going to get out here. I'm going to say it how I want to. And I just like that about it. Yep, it worked. Okay, thanks, Zach. Evening, all pillbox. I'm just getting off of here, man. You were probably in a church meeting online. I know a lot of people do worship on Sunday night. Some people worship Sunday morning. Some people worship all different days of the week. I just do know there's some people that do partake in a Sunday service. So definitely don't apologize to me, guys, for being late. Don't worry about it. What's happening, Double B? I kind of like making these messages big on here because a lot of times I can't even see your avatars. That's a nice looking avatar there. What do you guys think? I like that. Double B. Good job. EV3 Dale says, I went strapped to go foraging on the back way to our park today. Don't leave home without it these days. Sun goes down. Pistol goes on at home too. Yeah, I can't show you guys right now. So Susan, there's no. I'm completely unarmed, Susan. No. Promise you, Susan. Now, here's the thing, guys. Have you ever heard that once in a while, you don't lie, I don't lie, but once in a while, it's not really a lie if you're telling someone that doesn't deserve the truth? You guys ever hear that? Does Susan deserve the truth? What does Susan deserve? No one's feeling sorry for her. She's a billionaire by restricting our speech. Luke himself. What's happening, Luke? He said, I bought a Zagana F. What's up, man? How's it going? Speaking of Zaganas, I might have something coming. The owner of Supermatch, awesome gun shop. Supermatch, G&A, if you're ever in Newport, Michigan, awesome. Like, literally, best. He's one of my best friends, guys. I don't hang out with just any old buddy. You guys know that by now. Yeah, awesome. He sent me a text and said your gun's here. So I have something cool. Zagana. I'll spill that much beans, okay? Cats and Cars Ringtail Gang. What's happening, man? How you doing? How you doing, man? Nice to see you. Yes, Sunday the Sabbath. Yes. A lot of people do go to church service, and some people worship in the morning. Some people worship on their own time. Lots of different ways. JDV3, did I get the replacement? No, guys, I just did the unboxing holiday weekend, but I will tell you this. I'm going to do a customer service review, but I'll spill the beans a little bit. So far, I'm impressed with customer service. I believe. So I'm in the process of the exchange, but it's a holiday weekend. There's no mail going on, you know, today being Sunday, tomorrow being Monday. So I'm in the process. Did I get a replacement? No, it just can't happen that fast. However, the correspondence, okay, and the things that are in motion right now behind the scenes, like I got a tracking number, for example, and things like that already. So it's already looking good, but it just was not humanly possible. There just wasn't enough time, because you have to remember, I'm a really busy person too. I had emailed him in the morning. Then I went off to work. I came back at 5 p.m. that night, the day after the video, and he had responded back. I'm like, oh, shoot, it's after business hours. So I responded back to him at 5:20 p.m. He actually responded to me at 7, guys, which was nice. Well, then it became the weekend. So he's actually moving really, really quick to try to make this right. But it's a holiday weekend, and I might have gone 8-9 hours in between answering his email just because I'm too busy owning a very, very small business. So hopefully that sums it up, guys. But I don't want to just sit there and do like 3 half videos. I don't want to drag it onto this epic saga. So I'm just going to wait until I get a new one, and then I'll just put a concise customer service video together, because that's very important. And then hopefully, okay, that's wood right now. I'm knocking on, guys. I'll just be slipping the new one in and then showing you guys stuff like compensators, suppressor, taking it out to the range. That's where we want to go from there. So heck yeah. Do I have merch? I kind of. Look, guys, it's not like a thing that you have to join. Patreon. The only thing nice about Patreon is this. Well, it helps the channel, right? But it gives me a concise list of everyone's addresses that choose to share. Now, you can join Patreon privately, and some people do. It's just a checkbox. Show the creator my address or don't. So if I had your address, and if you're a Patreon supporter, I've mailed these out. Some of you that have left super chats have emailed me, and go ahead, email me. It's just the honor system, guys. I can't afford to send 20,000 of these stickers out. But on the honor system, if any of you left a super chat, that's contributing to the channel, obviously. Here's the only, it's not a problem. I love the super chats, and it does help the channel. Like, I get the money, but there's no like list of your address, right? But you don't want there to be either. I get that. I don't have your address. So if you super chatted and you'd like a sticker, a couple stickers, let me put my email in here. Okay. Email me and say, hey, man, I left you a super chat. I'd like some stickers. I know that's an informal way of saying, no, I do not have an actual merch store. I don't know if I'm a big enough channel to even have merch, but what I did want is these stickers, because it's just something kind of cool, just something to kind of represent. And I'm like, man, I've had these loyal Patreon supporters. Again, people leave me super chats. I want to give them something. Not that I have to. You guys never told me I had to, but I wanted to. You know what I'm saying? Here's what I'm going to do, guys. Let me know. Actually, let me ask you guys a question before I get off of here. Be careful. Patreon might be shut down soon. I know, and there's things about Patreon I can't stand philosophically, okay? But it's the only way I can get, like, you guys donate to the channel. Now I have your address. I can mail you something as a thank you. That's what makes it tough. The other way to do it's this. Hey, man, I left you a super chat. Here's my address. Email that to glockshooter79@gmail.com. Send you a sticker. You know what I'm saying, right? Would you guys like me to have a little merch for sale? I don't know. People like the hat. This isn't technically my hat, though. This was actually custom made by friends of mine that have a group here. But I thought about having one just like this. This is two-way EDU here. Could. Stickers, maybe. I don't know. Do you guys want me to have it or not? If you want me to, here's what I'll do. As soon as it cools off just a little bit, I slow down, you know, late fall, winter time. I'll have something up, you know, before Christmas, if you guys would like me to. But I'm asking that because I'm not I'm not like, hey guys, look at me. I'm 2AEDU and you have to buy my merch. It's a fine line. Some channels, I'm glad they have merch because I own merch from a decent amount of channels, and I'm really proud to have some of their stuff. And I'm really glad they offered it. But some guys push it down your throat a little bit too much, and it kind of turns me off. So that's why I'm definitely asking in the form of a question after a lot of you guys have been bringing it up. So the only thing I'm pushing on is use my Amazon link, guys, because it's free. It doesn't cost you a penny. Now, that's even just so I can get more cool stuff on the channel. That's all. I just covered it, EV Dale. I just covered it a minute ago. So if you're just joining, just rewind a second here. I left my email. I don't know. All right, a few of you guys are saying, yeah, you do it. Michael Moran, love the underfolder. Yeah. I showed it in that short little video, a little more of it the other day. I've done a whole review on it, actually. I should do a new one. Because what I did is it's an old video, and it lasts like well over an hour. It's me showing a parts kit, an old Yugo parts kit, and then I showed the M64 next to it. But it was like an over hour-long video. So unless you're like a big AK nerd like I am, maybe you didn't watch all of it. So should I do that? Is that kind of a request, I think, maybe? Let me know. Should I do a video on this, like the gun that sits, because it's actually a really, really interesting gun. This isn't just any old underfolder, guys. Not many of them in the country at all in this configuration. So I'll just stop bragging about it, but there's a reason it's hanging up behind me. It's kind of a unique model. 2AEDU PMags or something like that. Yeah, I do actually have friends that own a little fabricating company that have a laser. I know some guys like laser etch into things like that. I'll have to see how that would work. Barry Austin. Yeah, guys, no, for real though. Thank you for saying that because Michael's a good dude. Michael's video is not family friendly, guys, okay? But I do like it anyways. There's just something about it. It's just raw. And it's just like, this is YouTube. This is the old school. You guys know what I'm saying. Raw Feeding 101. What's happening, man? Thanks for the super chat. How you doing? You got your stickers, right? I hope you did. This is another good channel I like. You guys probably know this if you've been on here for a while, but really like this channel. He does a lot for dog owners. He's a guy that's truly passionate. Another guy that, yeah, that's his business. And I encourage you to look at his programs that he offers. He makes his living, right? Dog Dad, they call him. Raw Feeding 101. He's a published author. He has programs, services that he sells. But he does a free live stream almost every day of the week. And he'll answer like all kinds of stuff for you. Totally for free in his live streams. I don't even own a dog, but I'll still watch his live streams quite a bit. So Troll 22001 AK Nerd. I like AKs a lot, guys. What's happening? What's happening, Chris Build It? How you doing, man? You could probably help me with figuring out something like this because you're in the industry yourself to a point, right? So I'll have to have some of these local consultants help me out. You know what I'm saying? All right, cool, Curtis. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, guys. This is just informal, but this isn't like a business. There he is. There's another friend of mine. Forge Tech Holsters. What about Patreon? I was just talking about for all my Patreon supporters, I've sent them stickers because it's a way for me to get their addresses. I don't know. Somebody was saying, I've heard this from most people, that Patreon could be going under soon. I don't know. What are you guys using? I have Subscribestar. 2 people use it, which I truly appreciate. Most people go over to Patreon. But yeah, if you guys have been around my channel very long at all, you'll know there's a couple things I'm passionate about. I like to support local, small businesses. I've said it, like 5 times tonight? I own a very small business. Was mowing grass right up until here. Speaking of small businesses, he's on the screen right here. Forge Tech Holsters. This is a local company here in Michigan. And you know what? I basically found out about him from some viewers. If you go back to the very first video, they said, what do you think about Forge Tech Holsters? I said, never heard of them. Because you don't know of someone until you know of them? Okay. They're like, well, his stuff's really good and it's really cool. So I'm like, all right, whatever. Like, because I get all kinds of stuff. Not like whatever, like I didn't care. Just like, okay, Check. 4 or 5 people later, what about Forge Tech holsters? Okay, I need to look into Forge Tech holsters. So I got a hold of him and said, hey, man. I was like, whoa, he's local. I said, you're local, and my viewers have been telling me good things, and there you go. Now I've probably got 5 or 6 of his holsters, and there's quite a few reviews. So any of you guys that are fans of his holsters, he's in the chat right now. Say hi to him. Small business. When I say small business, I mean like the owner's like right there, hands in the work, just like mine. Okay, so that's what I like. And I do like his products a lot. I really do. And there's already people in here right now. Forge Tech, great holsters. There you go. He's not paying me to say this, guys. There's no commission or quid pro quo or nothing like that. He's just a friend of mine, and I do really like his holsters. And as long as you guys keep coming in, and I'll tell you what, anytime I show something with his holsters, I'll get 100 people that are like, it's an awesome holster. I don't know, maybe twice total ever. Somebody said they had a problem with it. Maybe twice, but like that's literally nothing. 2,000 people probably. Go back and read the comments, guys. So that's why I'm just trying to help you guys out. And if it happens to make Forge Tech's business succeed, then that's even better. Really, what I'm doing is trying to help you guys out. And if a local business succeeds, awesome, because this is America, and we should be happy when small businesses succeed, right? And he's not going to take offense when I say that. I care more about the viewers than I do Forge Tech holsters. Therefore, since the viewers love it, every time I recommend your product, I'm going to keep helping out the reviewers, the viewers rather. And if your business also happens to do great, this is how life should work. Is that a good way to sum it up? And that's how I feel about any type of, product that I'll actually. Him and Bloody Wheels. That's another one. I'll get in there and I'll tell you guys about Bloody Wheels products the same way. Say, man, his products are good, guys. Like, I'm not a salesman. I don't get none of this stuff. These guns that I'm showing, like the Taurus gun, the Lakeline barrel, I don't get this stuff for free, guys. I'm not on here to try to sell you things. But there's a couple companies, Forge Tech holsters, Bloody Wheels, where I will kind of say, these are good guys. Because they pretty much are making stuff that most of you guys like. You know what I'm saying? They can't make them all. There's just too many variables. 99.999, virtually, let's just say, to be honest, 100% of the time, people come back in my comments and tell how happy they are. And then I've gotten to know these guys enough, like, I don't want to say behind the scenes, just like emailing them and stuff. You know what I mean? That they're really good dudes. So there you go. End of story. Raw feeding 101. Another small business that I've gotten to know behind the scenes, on the scenes, whatever. Meaning I don't go to these people's houses because they're, geez, how long would it take me to drive to your house, raw feeding? But I know them enough to know that they're good people, and I do support their businesses. He says he's got his stickers on his rifle case. Nice. Nice. I've seen a couple on cars around here, guys. I'm not even joking. At least 2. What's going on, Luke? Just kind of walking into this maybe halfway through. Some trash neighbors have been coming on the property, other stuff. Then the dog gets poisoned. I hope you're not talking about your dog. And if you are, I'm sorry to hear that. Come on, guys, hurry up. I'm going to get off of here, but look. And you guys know what I'm talking about. Go into the comments. I do a Forge Tech holster video. I get 50 questions. So ask him. He's right here. The owner of the company's right here. Ask him. He'll answer you before he leaves. So we are going to have to talk, Forge Tech. We're going to have to email soon because I'm not a formal guy. I don't literally have a tally sheet, but I have a mental tally sheet of something that I'll mention to you that you may want to think about, because there's this one certain type of holster that, like, all the Taurus guys just keep continually asking me if you make or you're going to make. So I'm sure you read the comments anyways, but this is what's cool about dealing with small businesses, by the way. This is what's cool. We can actually have the owner of the company in here, and you guys can come into my comments and say, hey, man, does he make this? Does he make this? Does he make this? I don't know if he's going to make it or not, but I do know actually how to get a hold of him to let him know. No, I'm not a real review. These are all fake, man. I can't even see. Look, see the gun I'm reviewing? It's so fake it doesn't even exist. It's vaporware, right, Susan? Oh man. I'm shilling for the Raw Feeding 101 channel, guys. He bought my praise for $1.99. No. He's happy to leave a super chat, and he's also my friend, and I also really recommend his channel if you have dogs. I've heard a few of you guys talking about dogs a little bit. Did somebody hurt somebody's animal? I don't want you to rehash it. I'll go back and read it later. I think maybe somebody's dog got poisoned, and if that's the case, yeah, there needs to be a special place for people that hurt animals, innocent animals. You know, shooting an animal when you're hunting it, clean shot, killing it for food, that's not hurting animals. But if you're just killing an animal just to kill it, or just wanting to watch things, just no, that's bad. That's bad. Yeah. So, anyways, I've had a good time hanging out with you guys tonight. I've been spending quite a bit of the time reading the chat. You guys are asking Forge Tech some questions. Yeah. OWB with lights. Lots of people asking about lights lately. A lot of people are asking about lights. Now, what's tough is there's so many types of lights, right? Is it the Olight light that most of you guys are running? That's what it seems like. Streamlight are real popular too. It gets real tough because you've got a certain type of light. Okay, check. But then there's the millions of guns that could be for that light. And then you can look at it the other way. There's the Taurus G3C. Well, now there's a million lights that could fit it. It gets to be a lot of different SKUs to keep track of. But I think at the end of the day, if there's one specific light or light laser or whatever it is that seems to be the overwhelming winner, it's just tough. That's where I don't envy any holster company right there. Like, how are you literally going to be able to narrow it down? That's got to be one of the logistical nightmares. Texas Outlaw. There's a special place for those hurt animals and kids. It's called a shallow dirt hole in an undisclosed location. Defensively, Susan. Yeah. Green lasers you guys are talking about. Olight Baldor Pro people are talking about. Well, then there's the new Baldor Mini, though. People love Olight lights. They're affordable. People like them. They're not my favorite. To be honest with you guys, I'm more of a Streamlight guy. Just saying. Doesn't mean that Olight shouldn't be your favorite, but I like Streamlight better. But Olight, they come out with a new model like every week. It's got to be impossible to keep up. But I guess the good thing could be... this. I know it's a nightmare because you guys know what I'm talking about, right? Olight. That's what some of you love about them. I'm sure that's what makes nightmares for holster and accessory companies. They come out with a new model once a week, once a month. I mean, you know what I'm saying. You can tell when it's Olight time. All the big channels that do the paid reviews, they all pop out their Olight video within 30 seconds of each other. Hey, nothing wrong with that, though, in a way. I mean, you know, it's not, I believe in a business, so that's fine. These YouTube channels are businesses. They should make business deals. So I don't have anything wrong with it. I just kind of chuckle because you can tell who is sponsored by Olight because poof, all their videos come up within the same magical moment when a new product's released. And it's about once a month. So Raw Feeding is suggesting Through Night makes great flashlights. Wish they'd make weapons lights. I'm not real familiar with whether they do make them or not. JD West, what's happening, JD? How you doing, man? Nice to see you. He says, enjoy the holiday. Thank you. I hope you do too, man. And he has an Olight Baldor. So, but they make different sizes of the Baldor. Baldor. I don't know how to pronounce it, guys, but you know what I'm talking about. Surefire. Excellent light for human people. Of course. I don't have the money quite for a Surefire, okay? Probably better, but I go with Streamlight usually because they're still a little more expensive than Olight, but I just like them a little more. The Surefire, probably top shelf, right? Probably, I would say top shelf. So there you go. All right, I'm getting ready to get off of here. I've had a fun night, guys. It's been an awesome. Not happy to read that, Luke. He said someone made his puppy suffer. That's sad. That's really sad, man. Well, hopefully you guys are having a good weekend. Hopefully you can mourn and grieve and get over that, Luke. I'm sorry to hear that, man. But hopefully you guys are doing good, or at least making the best of the situations you have. And happy Labor Day. I know a lot of you have worked hard this year. In years past, if you're retired, it don't matter. You put in your time. So you guys deserve a day. You guys deserve a day off. Raw feeding, get off of here and go hug your wife and daughter. Well, I got to get off of here because raw feeding just made me, and I went over a half hour over the hour. So some of you know me well. All right, I'm out of here. You guys have a great night too, and it's good to see you guys. All right, thanks for watching, and have a good one.